from Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Baum, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
And welcome to episode, starting off perfect right away. Welcome to episode 510 of the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. It is our reaction show to AEW and NXT. And now your host with the most, Adam Baum. Say hi, Adam.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. We are coming in hot there on the soundboard, Rob. But thank you guys for joining us. What episode number did you say it was?
510.
510. I would like to apologize for episode 509. It was not our best effort.
No.
We celebrated Earth Day a little too hard. Let's just say that. Tonight, as we continue our quarantine casts away from each other, we're going to discuss who won Wednesday. NXT had 2 championship matches and part of their cruiserweight thingy. And I don't know if it's a round-robin tournament, what you want to call it. Plus, it's just for an interim title, so who cares? And we had 2 matches on the other side for the TNT Championship on the AEW side. Brian, before we get to it, I know you wanted to talk about being the Elite from Tuesday night, their latest episode,
Elite,
and what was announced.
Elite.
Did I? Well, did you want to introduce me first, or?
Oh, this is Bionic Brian. I didn't realize Rob didn't introduce us.
I turned it over to the host.
You're the host.
Check the tape, man. You didn't do the board. You didn't do Brian.
Nothing.
You didn't even introduce me.
I know I didn't do the board.
I had
the show started.
I had a whole introduction for myself. I was gonna.
So did I.
Said,
I had something that was great, and now you just ruined it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, Brian. Here it is, Brian. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I just wanted to let you guys know that I upgraded.
I know you're in my living room.
No, I upgraded in my studio. Now I can just do anything. I can just snap my fingers, and I can just have Kiwi go behind me. I can do anything. So we're moving up in the world.
This is great for the podcast people.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's why
I'm waiting for the floating head, Brian.
Well,
more of a reason to watch.
I am Rody Rob.
I want you to just be a floating head. Rody Rob is the bald guy.
I am the EST of MOWP. I am the fast, the slowest, the angriest, the highest, the stonedest. Yeah, go ahead, Adam. Do your show.
Apparently, Rob taking advantage of not being in the studio with other people, and especially his family. On the board, we have Anaconda Vice, Evan Wright, Soji, Stykeleather, Benar. I'm sure there's other people, but that's who I see that I care about. Sealer Stout is here as well. Brian, before we break down everything, what was your overall thought tonight on AEW? Hey, Teddy.
On AEW, I thought it was a really good episode. Specifically, the Darby and Sammy one. I thought that match was fucking phenomenal, and the main event too. I mean, both of those tournament matches I thought were great. Yeah, we got a little bit of some squash action in there, but we also had the Brody Lee promo. I thought overall this was a pretty fun episode.
Everything served its purpose, though, even the squash.
It did, and you know, there wasn't too much recap. It was actually, honestly, this was a really enjoyable episode.
Rob, on the other side, you're the only one of the three of us that got to watch both side by side in the studio as you were quarantining yourself from your family. What was your take side by side? What kept drawing your eye?
It was actually a back and forth game tonight. It wasn't all, it's been consistently kind of all AEW, right? I'm focused there. Jericho's on commentary. They're doing fun segments. NXT has been more about the competition. Storylines have been very simple, so you don't really need to pay attention long and hard to them. So that's kind of been the rundown. But tonight, I find myself jumping back and forth a lot more. Johnny and Candice had a really cool, like, fucking Donnie Darko fucking segment from their apartment.
Don't go into the details.
I don't want to go.
We're
you're
going to
right.
break it down.
But just there was a few moments in NXT where it was like, hey, you know what? They did some fun shit tonight on top of just the really good in-ring competition. But back and forth, bro.
Yeah, Sklender's first comment. AEW found some accidentally awesome chemistry with Jericho and Schiavone. I don't know about that. Jericho has his moments for sure, but there's a lot of times I feel like he leaves the deal. And Soji's asking, what was the deal with Balor MIA? Was this a work? I got an email earlier today, I don't know if you guys did, that said Finn Balor was fighting Velveteen Dream tonight, and that didn't happen. We'll break it down because that's where we're going to start with NXT. But I want to start just by explaining we're going to change some stuff up tonight, boys. We're going to run through the matches from both shows, and then we're going to run through the promos of both shows. So I'm not going to do my normal timeline, but we are going to compare match to match, promo to promo kind of thing.
Okay.
There in this COVID era, there's a lot of promos, and I want to talk about the big ones, but I don't want to discount the matches. So we're going to start with the matches. First one on the AEW side is Sammy and Darby, and the first one on the NXT side is Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota and Raquel. Just on paper, I'm sorry if you're new to the show and don't know, I'm not a big fan of mixed tag matches with the women for no reason. Brian and I had our fill of it on SmackDown. I didn't see much point in it here. I want to talk about Sammy and Darby, but Rob, Brian, you got anything to add about the women's tag match before we go to Sammy and Darby?
Well, I'm pretty sure Brian doesn't because he did not watch NXT.
I definitely don't.
Yeah,
I
so
definitely don't.
yeah,
I'm boycotting
I can't
WWE.
hear you.
your microphone's getting low.
Yeah, I cannot hear you.
Turn it up, Brian. Turn it up. Well, it did. So,
Oh, you're horrible.
yeah. Thanks for taking time out of the show. Appreciate that. Everybody out there in YouTube and Twitch and all of our providers and viewers, they're like, yeah, thanks, buddy. So the women's tag match. It's what it's been when you have Dakota and what's her face? Her arch nemesis there. Tegan Nox. When you got Tegan Nox and Dakota in the ring, it's kind of always been the same. Shotzi's a fun addition. Story really doesn't progress much more than it already has there, so don't know where it's going. Good match. I didn't mind kind of watching it. So
Yeah, but this is one of those feuds that's gone on too long. And now you're doing the mixed tag match after you've had like 3 one-on-ones.
A feud has gone on too long? We talking about Tegan and
Tegan and Dakota goes back to November, boys. We're in May.
Okay.
They've had 3 matches that were blow-off worthy.
So?
All right, yeah, let's keep it going. Let's make a tag match.
I'm saying, look, they're not the highlight of the show, right? They're not even designed to be the highlight of the show. And they
it's
put
the curtain jerk.
Okay,
should be something to draw you in.
No, I'm gonna tell you my opinion, and you can double back on what I said and then challenge me. But cutting me off didn't help me get there. They're not the fucking the lead of the show. They're a sub feud between 2 girls that put on good matches, and the feud's is really I hate you. It's nothing specific like a marriage or a friendship, or it's kind of at this point they just hate each other. So I mean, feuds go for fucking. I've seen feuds for a year. I've seen feuds for multiple years. I mean,
yes, and there are some that are worthy of it.
Okay.
This is not one of them.
All right, cool.
I think you just don't like it because it's.
I just don't like you because I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you, man.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking do anything. I didn't change anything. I'm sitting here listening to Adam fucking run his mouth.
All right.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, there it is.
You know what it sounds like?
Came back a little bit at the end.
It sounds like your computer microphone might be picking up you and not your other mic. Just saying.
Yes, yeah. I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Sammy versus Darby. Real quick, we'll talk about their promos, but they both came out with some promos in the early parts of this match. Sammy says very simply, I was in the first match on AEW. I was in the first Dynamite, and now I'm going to be the first TNT champion. And I really liked the promo. I really liked where they went with this. This is a feud, unlike Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai, that they haven't even scratched the surface of, because they know this could be long-term booking. But this is just the next chapter in Darby and Sammy, and a hell of a fucking chapter. Brian.
Can you hear me, Adam, or are you going to cry? Is this okay?
It's better.
Better.
No, I like the whole story that was told. I like fucking Sammy getting his shoe taken off. Darby was bleeding from his nose. It was a very physical match. I'm glad that that Darby won in the end. Just because, I mean, he's actually the guy that I have winning for the whole thing. So I don't know. I mean,
that'd be optimistic.
Yeah, it would be, right? But I mean, dude, it's got to be hard putting on those types of matches with nobody in the crowd. A lot of the times, especially Darby, he's one of those guys that it seems like he feeds off of the crowd a lot because a lot of the stuff that he does is pretty risky. So to not have that, I tip my hat to both those guys. It was a great opening match.
Well, now I will say that having no crowd, the biggest difference between WWE and AEW is having the wrestlers out there to give you something. It makes a big difference. Rob and I were talking about this as we were watching on Skype. But, Rob, before you talk about the match, I mean, having at least some noise, some fans, even if they're your boys from the locker room, is better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is better than nothing, and I like how they're doing it. But honestly, the story, the matches, even just the kind of the sound and the setting of AEW shows, the non-audience shows, it doesn't even need the people on the side. It's really good. It's really fun to follow, even without any kind of crowd at all. So that's kind of my take.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with you.
I didn't.
It's got a better feel. I mean, you can even hear Jericho sometimes. He yells from the announce table.
Yeah, it's more like I said last week. NXT feels very, very corporate, and AEW seems very laid back. And let's get it done. Let's have some fun.
Well, that's why I wish you guys would try to watch BTE more, because if you guys like how AEW has fun, I get it. But I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, but did you guys notice the little summary that they played, the little recap video of BTE?
Yes.
Did that do anything for you guys?
I saw the tour of the Jackson compound.
Right.
And it's much nicer than anything I'll live in.
Yeah.
So, that was cool.
But the only thing I want to say about that is just that I like that that's something that we've been talking about. Like, just play us a few clips on Dynamite, just kind of, summarizing BTEs, just so that the people that don't watch, they can get an idea of what's going on.
WWE in the Attitude Era used to do a good job of that, Brian. With Velocity and Heat, they would show, some of the clips if it was relevant. Here's what you missed over here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm fine with it. The social distancing is the one benefit is we haven't had to, watch the Bucks in every segment every week. So there's a positive.
Yeah. Well, no,
Rob,
for you that is.
Brian, get the board ready. Rob, you never told me what'd you think about Sammy and Darby now?
Oh, about the match itself?
The match itself.
Yeah, no, I love the match itself. That fucking ladder spot was insane. I like how you made the comment when he hit there. You're like, oh my, it didn't break. I'm like, no, it's not WWE. They don't gimmick that shit. I'm sure they do gimmick things, but no, the match was great. I mean, obviously we're talking about the two matches side by side, and this one definitely held my attention more than Tiga and Dakota did.
Yeah, and I like Darby's innovative pin at the end. Really, his closing move set is always very, very unique and unorthodox.
You know what? It's kind of like he forces you to pay attention. He forces you. He moves so quickly and to so many different spots and areas in the ring. It feels like almost at once that you can't help but just fucking absolutely focus on him the whole time. It's hard.
That's absolutely
it's hard,
so true.
Yeah.
There's no 5 moves of doom where you're telegraphed.
Right. It's hard to look away from a Darby Allin match.
I feel the same way about Orange Cassidy. It's hard to look away from him. He is. No,
I agree.
He doesn't move quite as fast, obviously, but when he does pick up the speed, he can cook.
Oh yeah.
Brian's jumping ahead. We'll get there, Brian. What's the board saying? One of you guys.
Let's see. Jason Sklenar is saying. Evan Wright is saying Darby and Sammy could feud till they're 30 because they're the future of wrestling, in my opinion. Them, Jungle Boy, and MJF are the top prospects.
Slow your roll there, Francis.
Why? You don't think so?
Do I think they're the future of wrestling?
He adds Jungle Boy and MJF. That's a foursome that could be a decade worth of something.
I don't think they're the future of wrestling. I like them a lot, but I've said to you before, one of you, that Darby Allin's somebody who I could see doing, 3-4 years, and maybe be that guy who disappears. I'm like, man, you remember those Darby Allin matches? Yeah, that dude was really good.
Well,
like Raven, he hangs around for 30 years, but he only has 4 good years.
I mean,
he's even. I'm sorry. Before you go on, he's even been on record. He said that all he wants to do is he wants to get out early. He said that he wants to actually work on films and kind of get into like the movie side of things.
And I just totally, and that's fine. That's great. I just meant as a, people saying he's the future. He's not the future. And I think Sammy's, Sammy might have a long career, but I don't think he's the future of wrestling. That's going a little far.
Dyke says he's just glad Darby came up with a secondary finisher instead of just having the coffin drop.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, that's a good point. And then Stike is saying this. He said the only wrestler in the crowd at NXT was Dexter Lumis. Is that true?
Maybe, yeah. Well, he got called out of the crowd. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, hold on. Anaconda Vice says it's 100% gone on too long. Rob, what do you mean switch it the fuck up? And he's talking about obviously Dakota and fucking Tegan Knox. I always forget her fucking name. And look, man, why do you? Wrestling fans are so fucking finicky, man. They're so fucking finicky. Literally, like, everything's got to be absolutely fucking the way you want it to, or it fucking sucks. All right, I'm just saying. Tiga and Dakota, yeah, it's been going on.
Tegan.
I don't give.
Why do you keep saying Tiga K?
I don't know. Shut up, man. Make it a point. Fuck. So yeah, it's been going on a while, sure, but is it really fucking hurting anything for you? I mean, is it that fucking bad? Is it? It's not like it's Adam Cole and somebody topping the fucking show for fucking a year and a half against each other. That's old. Fucking who cares?
When you have to watch 10 or 20 minutes every week.
Yeah, what the fuck? Go to the bathroom. I mean, they always put on good matches.
All right, I'll go to the bathroom during your rant. Anyway, real quick, Brian, I think it's pretty obvious who wins this here. Darby and Sammy, we always talk about consequence and all these other things. Consequence is king here. This is the first ever inaugural tournament.
Yeah, definitely for me, it's got to be Sammy and Darby for sure. AEW. Okay. Yeah.
No question. So second match. We'll talk about full promos later, but I know you shared it with the group, I believe. But Drake Maverick had a very emotional goodbye on Twitter, the WWE Universe, his fans, etc. They showed it before his match here with Jake Atlas. By the way, Jake and Drake fought tonight. I was very shocked to see them put it. Is it possible, kayfabe, that in the massacre of all the talent they let go, they did one guy as a storyline who could win this tournament?
You know what? I'm sorry that I always keep...
it's a round robin one.
I'm sorry that I always keep deflecting from the wrestling topics to fucking bring up shit that Adam does. That pisses me off. Adam literally says that we're talking about that during the match, and I presented that option. And he's like, man, you should write that down so you could bring that up during the show. So I wrote it down so I could bring it up during the show, and then he just goes. So anyway,
wow.
So Brian, before this match, right, with the Jake and the Drake.
Well, you walked off the camera, bud.
I was back.
You weren't here to do it.
I was back before
what a good host does.
I was back before you even started talking. So anyway, before the match, Brian, would you shut the fuck up, man? So before the match, they played the Drake video from Twitter, right? You know the one I'm talking about, right? Where he's crying and shit because he got let go.
Yeah, of course.
They play that, and then they go through this whole fucking like promo package about him, and he gets in the, and I'm like, what if he wins this, right? What if he wins this? And Brad Adams like, was it a work?
No. I mean, he could have been someone that was is being furloughed, because I know that was something that
they can't. He can't get furloughed.
Who? Drake?
No, he can't get furloughed.
Why?
1099 people are not furloughed.
He's an independent contractor. He can't get furloughed.
Okay, but not officially, but like unofficially.
Okay, yeah, they could kayfabe and go, here's $1,000. Keep your phone open.
I mean, he's not out of it yet.
Or not even paying. Just say, hey, we got to let you go right now, but we're gonna hire you back. Apparently, that's the same thing that's happening with Sarah Logan. She's one of the ones that is. This is apparently only temporary, and That one
Yeah.
makes sense because her.
Well,
husband
they did
is in the
show a
company.
lot of her on Monday. I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure that they have plans to bring certain
Yeah, I don't
people.
know.
I'm sure they have plans to bring certain people back once this is all said and done. Absolutely, and some people will stay gone. Absolutely. It's not. Okay.
At the same time, though, because normally they'll pay you some travel or pay
Right.
for your travel or whatever. They probably say just don't come now. We're not going to pay you anything. To maybe defend WWE a little bit. Maybe they're like, look, if you guys have an opportunity to get money elsewhere right now, go do it because we're not going to pay you shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are cases like that. It's probably case by case, but I'm sure everybody got a hey, we'll look into it when we're done.
That just that goes against like everything they've been doing though, because for the longest time, all they've been doing for the past like 3 or 4 years, I feel like they've just been signing people and just kind of collecting them and dashing them away and not even using them.
Yeah, and now
they're just cutting people left and right.
And now they got hit with a big fucking payroll bill when the world shuts down.
And they're getting sued by fucking Andrew Luck's daddy.
Yeah. So
Yep.
So
Jay on the board. I don't know if he realizes we're talking about Drake Maverick, not Drake.
Yeah, Drake Maverick. So Drake Maverick's not out of the tournament. I mean, he lost to Jake Atlas, but he's not out of the tournament.
No, it's round robin.
Right. It's like the World Cup, right?
Yeah, I mean, like 2 losses probably means you're done, but 1 loss means you could get out of the pool play, and then into the next segment.
I'm just saying, if the question is, if it's a work, if Drake, and maybe it's not, if it is that fucked up?
It's in poor taste for sure.
Brian?
Well, fucked up how? By WWE?
Yeah, I mean,
fucked up how?
To make a work out of when you just fired like half of your, or almost like 3/4 of your goddamn roster.
Unless this is something that maybe Drake, obviously that the promo that he cut that felt very real, perhaps that was very real. Maybe he's one of these guys, because a lot of the guys, they're all like, fuck this, I want to get out of WWE. Maybe he was like, you know what, I like it here. I want to keep my job. This really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And maybe he's one of the guys that can survive this and they'll hire him back. There's been crazier things that have happened in the past, so I don't put that by it.
Hey, Rob, I want to turn the question around back to you.
Yeah.
Would that be in more poor taste than having a celebration Friday for one of the COOs?
You think that's in poor taste to have the Hunter thing on Friday?
I think it is right after all these firings. Yes, I honestly do.
Yeah,
if it was not, if they had shown this a week before the firings, if they show this in a month, they have had 2 episodes of SmackDown since the firing. One was 3 days after, one was 8 days after, or whatever the hell it is, 10. I think that's more in poor taste.
It doesn't.
Than this possibly being a character.
But it doesn't go against the reason why they made the cuts, or the alleged reason why they made the cuts. It doesn't go against it. I mean, it actually goes with it. Like, hey, we're going to get rid of a lot of the extra financials that we have here, a lot of the talent that we're not really using, and we need to save that money. And we're pulling back on production costs and backstage costs and all kinds. We're not building our new building. We're doing all these cuts, right? What else can we do to save some money? Let's
no more NXT Japan.
We could edit. I'm gonna finish the fucking thought, man. We could edit together a bunch of Hunter's best and do a 25th anniversary show for him. That feels it. So I don't see the
I'm
fucking.
I'm gonna do an impersonation of Rob here. Oh my God, you took all the points. You didn't leave any points left for us. Now there's no discussion. See, just saying I can't win. Brian, to me this feels a little bit like The Office. Michael Scott when we're doing branch closures and he wants to have his 15th anniversary party, and budget cuts and stuff like that.
How did I take all the point? I was going counter to your point. I was challenging your point. How was I taking all the point when I'm doing the opposite of what the opinion you had? I don't get that.
No, I think he was talking about.
Please don't interrupt me. I'm trying to talk.
You were done talking, motherfucker.
Brian, can you talk instead of Rob?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about, man?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just didn't want to hear Rob anymore. Juan has joined us on the board.
Hey,
they're literally telling their people to climb the corporate ladder for Money in the Bank after these firings. Is from Evan. Since we're on the topic, before we cut away, we might have tried to mention it Monday, but the graphic shows 2 belts hanging, and we believe that the women and men might be doing their match side by side.
I know you believe that. I don't believe that.
I think Rob shares my opinion. I believe that's what we talked about Monday.
They're gonna do.
I believe.
I do not believe that they're going to do that. I believe that they should do that.
I mean,
that'd be great.
I agree. I would be a should too. I don't know if they will.
Oh, is this going to be like an obstacle course? Like, what kind of bullshit is this going to be?
No. But imagine if 2 of the women are fighting on the stairwell and one of the guys can't get past.
Or imagine
they could do some shenanigans just throughout.
Imagine if a heel female and a heel male decide to join forces to try to get through the building together.
Right. Is this like Legends of the Hidden Temple, but with wrestling? You know, John Laurinaitis just swing around and just grab people, and you have to give him a coin. I don't know. It's a little weird.
Put him in the janitor's closet.
I'm not shitting on it right away. I'll give it a chance.
Hey, we shit on the fucking Taker thing. We shit on the fucking Funhouse thing, and we were wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a chance.
All right, let's keep...
I do agree with Rob. I don't think they will. They should. He put it better in the wording. The match that's going head-to-head with Jake and Drake for AEW is Alan Angels, who lost his debut match to Archer. He's going to fight Sklenner's goofy as whatever he calls Kenny Omega. Action for a while, Brian. I'm going to let you take the lead here. Kenny's somewhat returned.
No, I thought this was a good match. What was interesting to me, though, obviously... what's his name? I love how Jericho kept calling him Alan. He was like, is it Ingles or Angles? Like, it took him like about half of the match until he actually got the guy's name right. But this was a good match. And I'm surprised at how much offense he was able to get in on Kenny. But what was really big to me, and I don't know why this happened, but it took him 2 V triggers to pin him, which I thought was interesting. That's like, I thought it was weird. Why would Kenny have to use 2 finishers to finish some guy that's an quote unquote enhancement talent? I just thought that was a little interesting. I like that.
I'm glad you used that term there, the enhancement talent. Right. It feels like, and Rob, I'll take it to you on this one. It feels like we're introducing an enhancement talent level on AEW. We had Michael Nakazawa and Cutler before, but now we have Lee Johnson, who's been on a bunch. Alan Angels is now making his second appearance. I think it's a good thing to have an enhancement level tier. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, if you look at WWE as kind of the standard bearer here, and I know we don't want to follow everything they do, but I mean, Heath Slater he's a forever enhancement talent. Fucking Al Snow, forever fucking enhancement talent. So, yeah, it's good to have kind of your steady Brooklyn brawlers there all the time.
I mean, it's Brian. I mean, would you agree that AEW has added a broader, wider array of enhancement talent of late?
They have, but I mean, we also have to remember that they're shooting all of this at the Nightmare Factory, which is a school it's in Georgia. So a lot of these people are students of not students, but they're local people that wrestle for Southern Honor Wrestling and a few other local promotions over there. So for them to have,
so you think that's just it?
Yeah, I think right now it's just because they're kind of close by, almost like how NXT right now is just using a lot of people that are just kind of in the Orlando area.
Well, they're using PC guys, so if this is a school, it makes sense. I didn't realize that. I just thought we were finally going beyond Cutler, QT Marshall, and Michael Nakazawa.
Well, Cutler's been wrestling on BTE. They've been doing a lot of matches on BTE and enhancement matches, but actually like making fun of it, like using the term jobbers and explaining what a jobber is.
Yeah, but Cutler's BTC. We know he's the guy behind the camera most of the time on BTE.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they show it. I mean, they don't hide it. They actually do a really funny spot with him and Peter Avalon where Avalon steals the camera from Cutler in the middle of it. It was a good episode. It was a really good episode.
So
Kenny Omega, Alan Angels, or Drake versus Jake? Pick, Rob.
Drake versus Drake.
Drake versus Jake.
Yeah.
Brian.
You know what? I'm big on story. I'm gonna go with the NXT side. Although the AEW match is really good, I like the whole Drake angle, and I'm a big fan of Jake Atlas too. So I'm gonna say NXT.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Angels, no offense, he's getting started. I'm not knocking the guy, but he's got no name ID. And the other one, Rob made the rules. We've stuck to them. Consequence. One is part of a tournament for the interim championship.
Yeah, is that a question?
Rob? No.
Oh, okay.
You just look like you wanted to say something, and we're getting all angry over there. So I wanted to go to you.
I appreciate that because I've been like, wait, you're good. So Soji on the board. I just want to comment on this. He says WWE is doing, or maybe she. You know, we never know. Could be a she. Soji could be a fucking girl. We don't know.
We don't know that.
We don't know.
We don't have.
So
we know that.
So it is saying WWE is doing nothing with these local available guys, but AEW lets their guys rock at least before the loss. Okay, so this goes back again to what we talk about, the corporate image versus the family-owned business. A family-owned business might be like, yeah, come in and do a day's work. We'll see if we'll keep him. Corporate, no, you got to do fucking 5 interviews, pass an HR screening, fucking everything else before you get a fucking job there. Same thing. Corporate, mom and pops. Go ahead.
Yeah, they probably make you do like an SNL type of casting as well.
Get off the goddamn shed.
Yeah. Next up on each card, this is going to be a tough one for Brian. We have Kushida versus Tony Nese, part of the Cruiserweight Interim Tournament.
Kushida.
And we have Orange Cassidy and Jimmy Havoc.
Ooh.
Where do you want to start, Brian? I'll let you dealer's choice here.
I want to hear the NXT side. I want to hear the NXT side of things.
So on the NXT side, Kushida won. Tony Nese, good wrestler.
Huge forehead.
I just don't like his gimmick. He looks like a mini Elias. He has no real personality to him.
Huge forehead.
Yeah, and a huge forehead, Rob says. Kushida, I'd like to see more done with Kushida. I don't want him to play behind the 8-ball 0-1. I like that he's 1-0. Rob, what would your take be on NXT?
Exactly everything you said. I don't want to waste your time. Everything you guys said is exactly how I feel.
So Rob wasn't listening, Brian. Does that explain to you by just having my take?
No, I listened to everything you said. I agreed with everything you said. There was nothing really more to say there. I mean, that was just me being honest.
Sorry, Brian's lost to the mark order.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was your question, Adam?
It doesn't matter.
I didn't watch the NXT side.
I know you didn't. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter. Why? That's why I asked it.
Get off the goddamn shed.
Answer. So, Orange Cassidy, Jimmy Havoc, fun. I was a little bit confused by Penelope Ford's involvement. Eiffel Tower. What is she involved here for?
So it could start another feud, Brian?
No, wasn't it because didn't Orange just have a feud with Orange Cassidy? I'm sorry.
Orange have a feud?
I'm sorry. I had a moment. I think I might have had his mini stroke. I don't know what that was.
Residuals from Monday?
Yeah. Seriously. No, didn't Orange just have a feud with Kip recently? Or like a mini feud? Or am I making that totally up?
I have no idea. No.
Unless it was on Being the Elite, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Pac had a mini feud with Orange Cassidy.
Pac did. No, I don't think Kip did. Yeah, I don't know. That is a little curious.
Machiavelli?
I guess I don't know. We're definitely forgetting something. I think Monday night definitely had an effect on our brains. But this was a good match between Orange and Jimmy Havoc. This was actually my favorite of Havoc's in AEW so far. He does some old school stuff. He did the whole shtick. It was almost like fucking Three Stooges on the outside. Where at one point where he poked him in the eyes and hit him in the dick. I don't know. He does a lot of old school British stuff. Yeah, man. He's just short. He doesn't do the sound effects though.
It's like watching a car.
I feel like you're doing Three Stooges all by yourself.
It's like watching a car crash. I'm just sitting back and enjoying it.
Now you mentioned that they don't do the sound effects. I hated that Jericho foreshadowed it a little bit, but putting Cassidy's hands into his own pockets kind of like hulked him out. And he goes, That was when he finally got some shine, Brian. He had been getting his ass kicked for the majority of the match, and then he gets some shine when that was done.
Yeah, but
and the best part when he's doing the kicks, you know how he does those kicks. Well, the wrestlers, without the crowd, nobody's there to cheer, but the wrestlers at ringside were going, oh, like the crowd would. I don't know. I really think they add something to it. Rob, Orange Cassidy, Jimmy Havoc.
What the fuck is that on Jimmy's shoulder? On the back of his left shoulder. It's either like a huge mole, or it's just like this big cyst. I just want to squeeze some pliers. I don't know. Okay. Look, I like Jimmy Havoc, but sometimes I don't know. I like the way he played with the ref today in this match. I'll say that to be positive. I like the way he played the ref today, kind of in and out, and I know the rules, and it was fun to see a good interaction with the ref. You don't see that too much. I like the match. The match was fun. Orange Cassidy's always fucking great. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm rambling.
Yeah, Ramblin' Rabbit or Rabbit. Ramblin' Rabbit.
Wow, good.
Forgot about that.
You're good at nicknames.
I didn't come up with that. One of the board members did. I just stole it. So here we go. Let's vote. Cassidy and Havoc, who have no consequence. Penelope Ford helps Cassidy get the roll up. Seems to maybe be a feud brewing. But Kushida and Nice are part of the tournament. Who's your vote, guys? I'll go to Rob first.
Oh, AEW completely. 100%.
With a no consequence. We usually vote heavy on consequence.
Yeah, I know I do, but anything with Tony Nese, and I hate to sound this way, but anything with Tony Nese.
You're stealing my point. I get you.
I'm completely uninterested.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
That was going to be my logic behind my vote. Brian, you want to make it a clean sweep?
Yeah, AEW.
All right, we all hate Tony Nese. Brian agrees.
Tony Nese. I love Tony Nese.
He's fucking
nobody can hear you, Brian.
Dude, he's so lame. So I'm serious. He even looks like the kind of guy you'd hang out with, and you'd be like, "Dude, you're lame, bro."
He'd be the guy that somebody brought over to your house for a party, and you're like, "Yeah, don't bring that guy back."
Yeah, he was. He made it awkward all night.
What did he do? Did he kick your dog? No. Was he mean to you? No. Did he hit on your wife? No. What was wrong? I don't know. I just don't want him around.
I don't like him. Bad chi, man.
Yeah. He just gives a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Here's some fun ones. This is gonna be an easy vote for me. Mia Yim versus Jessie. I didn't bother to write her name down. And Lee Johnson versus. You ready for this, Brian?
Go for
Lee
it.
Johnson versus Wardlow.
Woodrow?
Woodlawn?
No, his name is Wardlow, and tonight, for me, he gets his name. Welcome, Wardlow, to the AEW roster. You are now all elite, and I will let Brian. Rob knows I kind of marked out in this one a little bit. So, what was your take?
My takeaway is, a couple things. First of all, the Mr. Mayhem moniker is growing on me. Initially, when I first heard it, I thought it was a little goofy, but now I don't know. I'm starting to like it. It's starting to stick. Secondly, as I just hit my microphone, his fucking airplane spin. The guy wins with a fucking airplane spin. I mean, come on. Who's doing an airplane spin as a finish?
Looks
That's
so
insane.
fucking dangerous too, but the guy is able to land himself safe. He's got plenty of air before he hits the ground to get himself right.
And
I mean, it was an awesome enhancement.
I was thinking about that airplane spin, Brian. I was trying to think of a wrestler on the NXT or AEW roster who's might be too big that he could do that too. Because it's always a risk of doing a finisher like that. Is hey, can you get everybody into that?
Right.
And I really
Brody
couldn't.
Lee?
Who?
Or Archer.
I think
Brody Lee or Archer.
I think he could
probably the only tough ones.
I think
maybe Luchasaurus.
I think he can get all them because they're all fairly lean. They're big guys, but I think he can get them.
There's no big tubby bastards on AEW.
Kong might be tough. I don't. Just saying.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, he was a badass, absolute fucking badass, and got a good look, and guy's the limit.
Just the way he takes care of people, and yes, Brian, The airplane spin looks a little vicious, but everything that he did tonight to throw the dude around. My one, I had to be a little petty here.
Mhm.
You had Alan Angels kick out of Kenny Omega's finisher.
Took him 2.
Lee Johnson, after taking 4 of the most devastating moves.
Oh, dude. I know where you're going.
Not only does he counter.
So bad.
That's fine. That's fine. He wants to counter out of a flip and go into a standing position. I'm fine with that part of the counter. But then he wants to get some shine. You should be laying on the fucking ground because you just got destroyed 4 times by a big man.
Yeah.
I hate to be petty there, but that man standing up and getting the shine at that moment made 0 sense. Maybe after 1.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. I really am, because I almost forgot about that. Brian, are you tracking with us? You're gonna be like, man, you guys are being some kind of way.
No, you're onto something a little bit.
A little bit. No, I gotta push.
I'm not saying you don't give Lee Johnson offense. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm saying if you're going to have him after, when it's going for the second one, have the reversal be there, and he might get a little shine. And then that second one, he's fucking limp. And the third one, he's more limp. And the fourth one, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the progression.
I know it's play fighting, right? Everybody knows it's play fighting, right? Just, I'm being crass there, but it's so you have to have some kind of emulation to the actual thing. There's got to be some point of believability, right? And
nobody gets kicked in the nuts and goes, "Ow, my elbow!"
Right. If a guy Wardlow's size grabbed me and did the 3 moves that he did to that dude, I'm not getting up and like being looking fresh and throwing blows and kicks and reverses. I'm fucking down. I might swing to try to get back into it and fall while I swing. But that dude was like, it was like nothing happened to him, and that bothered me a lot.
It really did, and that's different from protecting a finisher, Brian. It's just a very, I don't know. It just seemed like a poor decision of the order there. You don't stand up after all that. If you want to, like Brian's or like Rob said, do a stand up and fall Flair style, or do something where you got jelly legs and you come, whatever. Not just stand up and start getting some shine and look like Ricochet and whatever. It just felt weird.
Yeah.
You
haven't read the board. You haven't read the board in a while.
Yeah. What's on the board? Before I go to the other side.
Yeah. Jason Sklenar is saying, "Holy shit! Brian just called something goofy. I must be rubbing off on him."
Good comment,
perhaps. Yeah. Well, hey,
that's what you read.
Oh my God!
My attention to.
That's what I mean. I saw my name, so yeah. If
there's tons of comments on there. Come on, that's good.
Let's see. Stike is saying Wardlow is AEW's Brock Lesnar, and his F10 is better than Brock's F5. Okay,
I agree.
Shoji saying
F10 is a truck, right?
The booking of these big men for AEW is so off. Why not award? I don't know what that means.
The what?
I don't know. What?
He's saying the booking of the big men on AEW is wrong.
Yeah, Shoji.
It's so off. Why not Wardlow versus Archer in a no frills match? No, you need to keep them separate right now to make people want them. People are still wanting more of Hager and Luchasaurus, where we barely got any taste and there was no match. Why? Because they don't need to put giant against giant. That's a WWE thing. Oh, we're either going to go Ray versus Big Show, or we're going to go Big Show versus Taker. There's no in between.
Right.
There was never like a great Big Show match with a medium guy. There just wasn't. And you just always had to fight the big or the little.
And I know they're coming up on 1 year, but but they're still establishing themselves in many ways, and establishing their monsters is still something that they're doing. You don't want to start thrusting them all together. Let them be dominant on their own, and then eventually down the road, let them run into each other.
Yeah, squashes suck, but to build a monster, you need a squash. And if you, I'm answering Soji on the board. If you do it with the 50-50 booking where nobody gets over, then you don't build any monsters. You don't build anything. So yes, squashes suck, but sometimes they tell a story. Wardlow tonight looked vicious. That's the story they told. Like Brian said, what was it, Mr. Mayhem? You like that name?
Mr. Mayhem.
And Soji, he also points out, Adam's not pointing out that there were no women's matches on Dynamite. There's nothing to point out.
That's an improvement.
That's why it was a good show.
I'm sorry, dude. You sat on here with us and talked about how bad the women's division is on AEW.
It's been better.
It's getting better.
Imagine when Brian Cage eventually shows up healthy and signs him versus Brody Lee, him versus Luchasaurus, or him versus Wardlow. Right, without any, tall and fat guys on the roster or big rotund guys. They're establishing their monsters right now. They're keeping them apart. Some are even in different divisions. Wardlow's a heavy. Luchasaurus is in the tag division. Hager's just now starting to wrestle.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've got these people set up to be different.
Slow the fuck down. Hold on. Hager's he's definitely the heavy of the faction, but I'm not putting him in the monster category. That's not happening.
No. At the beginning, they were acting like that until Archer and Wardlow came around.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus was in the tag division. They were billing like Hager and Dustin as if they were the big men, not monsters.
Yeah.
Big men. Sorry, Rob. They were building them as big men.
There's a difference.
And then you added Wardlow and Archer. Those guys are going monster level.
Okay. I'm with you.
Sorry. Retread / semantics / I fucked up the language of it all. Do we need to vote?
No.
Wardlow does.
No.
Both were squash matches. And Charlotte followed out after Mia Yim, which made it worse.
Yeah, the Mia Yim. So Mia Yim's going to be the first opponent for Charlotte, apparently, on NXT for the title. I guess they just wanted to run through some people. I don't hate Mia Yim. I don't hate her. I don't think she's horrible. I really don't. And I like her personality. I like her gimmick. I think she's pretty decent.
She's not a ring general, and she was out there with someone green.
Well, yeah. Maybe she does need to be in the ring with somebody who can really carry her to make her look better. I just don't think she's had that opportunity yet. Maybe if she fought Asuka, I don't know if she did or not. I can't remember if she fought Asuka or not. But I don't know.
She fought Kyrie.
Oh, what's
EO?
What's the point of doing all this with the women? What's the point of doing having Charlotte go against Mia? Mia's a young and up and coming NXT wrestler. Now Charlotte's just gonna squash her, and then she's gonna go on to the next one. Squash her.
Oh, it's horrible.
I don't get it.
It's all about Charlotte. That's why, Brian.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. I mean, she doesn't sell for people in matches. She doesn't make anybody look strong. She doesn't put anybody fucking over in any kind of way during.
Roderick Strong, and I approve that message.
Right. I mean, she's. People are like, "Oh, she's the best wrestler." First off, she's good. She's good in the ring. She is, and she's good on the mic. She's gotten so much better on the mic. Absolutely. But you have wrestling's about a give and take, right, Brian? You put somebody over and they put you back.
Well, and the other thing is her dad made a career, not just of himself, but part of his career was putting other guys over. Why? Is because he sold for them.
What do you think, Brian, to the question I asked you?
No. Yeah, no, I'm with you on it. I disagree with you guys. I think that Charlotte sells for girls in matches and stuff. I think she sells fine, but the fact is she always wins. She's always going over and stuff. So I don't know. That's my only gripe with her in NXT now because
here's what Stike said is the reason. I don't care, but it gives me a little bit of give a fuck. The reason they are doing Charlotte versus Mia is because Mia was Charlotte's first opponent that she ever wrestled. That's an interesting fun fact.
But are they running with that? Are they saying that on NXT?
I don't care.
I don't know.
Well, that's a big deal if they're actually using that, or if that's just something that someone knows.
If they mentioned that, I didn't hear it.
Splendor says Ric Flair's the GOAT because he gave more than he took. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's the best are the ones who put people over.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't want to make a deal out of it.
Go ahead.
Next match, I don't want to talk about at all, really, because I want to talk about the promo portion when we get to our promo segments, because we're rounding out the matches here. We've only got this next round of matches plus the main events. Gentleman Jack Gallagher and Odell Phantasma,
the
guy who beat Jack Gallagher.
Yeah.
Or we could talk about Justin Law, Brody Lee. I'm going to talk at length about Brody Lee in the promo, so we don't need to talk about that here. And the other one was, it was our third match in the Cruiserweight tournament tonight for the round robin.
Yeah. You don't have that written down?
What was that?
You don't have that one written down?
What one?
No, never mind. Go ahead. Keep going. Were you asking me a question?
Are you talking about El Hito del Fantasma?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You asking me a question. I was distracted for a minute.
No.
Okay.
I was saying, do we want to talk about these?
Do I want to talk about that match? No.
Either match.
No.
Brody Lee and Justin Law, because I only want to talk about the Brody Lee promo.
The Brody Lee match, no, I got no comments about it. Good match. Fine.
Brian?
What, about the Brody Lee promo?
No, the match.
Jesus. Do I have to fucking ask the question third time? There's only two of you fuckers. Who am I talking to?
I can't hear you over Rob's freezer. No? That didn't register?
Crickets.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Right. The freezer even got quiet for that one, Brian.
It did.
No,
it was a squash match, man. What else do you want to say? The cool thing happened during the promo. That was really the meat and potatoes of it.
Right, and that's why okay. Thank you for repeating me. I'm acting like Rob tonight. Am I doing a good job?
So then why ask me the question if you know what you want to fucking hear?
Because you can't handle the truth. Kip Sabian, Dustin. Dustin will retire if he loses. Guess what's not going to happen? He's not going to lose. That was really dumb. He spent a lot of time on it and a phone call. We'll talk about that in the promo segment.
So dumb.
And on the other side, we have Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream. Wait, no. That's what we were supposed to get. We instead get Velveteen Dream and Keith Lee against Cole and Rod. Wait, no. We instead get Velveteen Dream and Dexter Lumis versus Roddy and Cole. Who the fuck booked a third rebooking?
Well, I mean, to be fair, Keith Lee got hurt during the match, and then Lumis had to come out.
And they pulled the one guy out of the crowd?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Was Santino not available?
Maybe they didn't want to have Keith Lee in there overshadowing Dream because they're pushing Dream right now for that big belt. So Keith Lee might cast a heavy shadow. You know, might want to keep those two away from each other.
I thought you would want to possibly tease further and build further that future Cole Keith Lee encounter.
All right, now.
Whether it's for the title or not.
Well, first off, that's assuming that Adam Cole's going to hold the belt past Velveteen, which I don't think he will.
I said it doesn't have to be for the belt or not. Keith Lee has a belt.
Oh.
Cole loses to Velveteen, and there's your feud for the North American.
I don't think there's a. First off,
that's brilliant.
Adam Cole just came from the North American division, not that long ago. It doesn't seem like they're doing the back and forth thing on NXT. It's one step into the next like it used to be.
If you have a reason for him to backtread because him and Keith Lee have been feuding.
No, I don't see any world right now where Keith Lee and Adam Cole are feuding. Wrong.
Thanks for trumping me. Brian, do you like any of what I had to say?
I don't like anything that you have to say, but I also don't like NXT either, so I'm only here for the AEW portion.
Wow.
I like all four guys that were supposed to be in this match. I don't know about Dexter Lumis.
The significance of the match. The significance of the match.
Go ahead, Rob.
The significance of the match is that Velveteen got the pin on Adam Cole. Nobody agree with that?
No. I mean, that's the important finish. But, see, that's what was weird, and that's a perfect segue to me, Rob. I was expecting Finn and Velveteen.
Yeah.
And the winner of that would be the heir apparent number one contender.
I'm going to say...
Instead, you add the story of Velveteen in a tag match pins the champion.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say, possibly. I know what you're going to say, but that's a simple thing.
You do?
You pin the champion in a non-title match. It's a simple way to get your feud to the next level.
I know what you're going to say, so let me go ahead and say it for you anyway. But no, what I was going to say was the Finn Balor thing has to be, in a situation like this, you look for the obvious. And to me, the obvious is something to do with COVID. Not saying he's got it, Just saying the circumstances in this fucked up world right now probably made it where Finn couldn't be there. I think that's the bottom line. And they don't need to address it.
The thermometer went up his butt. He didn't pass. He got sent home.
Well, that maybe not, but maybe. Yeah, sure.
Brian.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Good. I want you to start us off. Fabian. Dustin. Dustin's going to retire if he loses. Take it away.
This one is a little disappointing just because I did have Kip advancing, and I made my picks before they had said that Dustin was put the whole career thing on the line. So, it's weird because now, so I don't know. I missed it. Is he now just going to continue on putting his career on the line? Did he say that?
I hope not, but it would make more sense if he did that again.
Right.
It would make more sense if he didn't say anything until this time and did it once.
Yeah, because now it's we know he's not going to win.
Vance Archer kills him, and so it can't be brother versus brother.
Right. But I mean, to me, it's still it was a little weird. I don't know. I'm not still fully over with Kip Sabian. He still hasn't really done anything for me. I love Penelope Ford. I think she's great for his character.
For you, he's done Penelope.
Giggity, yeah, that's true. But I do think that this, I hope, will kind of elevate Kip a little bit and kind of give him a little bit of a rub. He's another guy that I think all three of us, we don't think he's going to win. But if he does go far, him winning this first round, I think is already, they already said it during the match. They said that this is the biggest match of his career. And it could be true. A big TV match in a title tournament.
But he didn't. But at the end of the day, he didn't win. He's got a hooker crook manager in his quarter. He didn't win. The board, real quick, is getting the point that I want to go to with Rob here. Rob saying, no way is this the same stipulation next week for Dustin. No. I think they blew their wad early. This should be the same stipulation because it betters the Archer-Cody feud. And let's face it, Dustin's can go away for a while.
Yeah, but they're not saying go away for a while. They're saying go away forever is what they're saying. And so beyond your point you were making there or asking me about, the problem here is, for me, Dustin Rhodes is a storied fucking legend of the fucking industry. Dustin Rhodes he might not be on the Rushmore, but you'd be stupid to not put him somewhere in your top 15 of all time. Honestly.
I agree.
To me,
maybe 25.
Sure. To me, him losing his career to Kip Sabian in the first round of the TNT Championship tournament is fucking insulting as a wrestling fan. With that, I found the story to be incredibly stupid.
But wasn't it a little weird? Why did he say that to begin with?
Right.
Why he shouldn't have put that on the line? Because now we're like, well, you're definitely not going to lose now. Before this, we thought maybe you might lose, but there's no way Kip is going to retire you.
Was it just to sell the drama? You think of the match because nobody really. Think about it. Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin have had some issues. Spears and Cody have had some issues. You have Colt and Archer, the new guys. Let's see where that's going to go. And then you had this one, Kip and Dustin. There was no connection, so maybe they were trying to get a connection to the audience. I don't know.
You didn't.
I know that you're making faces, Rob, but
I'm making faces because you asked me. I'm trying to wait to see when you get to the end of the question so I can answer. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. So give me the abridged version again.
Adam needs to wash his hands.
The abridged version, I was saying, if you look at the rest of the bracket.
Okay.
Every other matchup had intrigue except for this one.
Drama.
Intrigue.
No, you don't need anything for this match. Sorry, guys. Sorry out there. I'm fucking scatterbrained. You don't need anything for this match. It is the first round match in a mid-card championship tournament. That's the drama in itself. You don't need to add in that this storied wrestler is going to lose his career on Wednesday Night Dynamite against Kip Sabian, and you don't need that. You don't even need it for the next one.
Hey, Trump. That's not the question I asked.
Yeah.
I'm not asking did they need it. I'm asking, do you think they added this because they thought they needed it? Obviously, they didn't need it.
I'm answering your question. I'm
Enough.
answering it.
Enough.
No, what?
He says enough.
Enough.
Wow.
Anyway,
I was really enjoying. I was really enjoying that topic. I was like really, yeah. Go ahead. You good? Fucking buzzkill.
Dustin doesn't need to put his career on the line to make that point in an Archer feud. If anything, Dustin putting his career on the line made Kip feel like a bigger deal, Evan said. But did it? He kind of was like, look, I'll fucking retire if I lose to this jackass.
If you're watching a match, it's a retirement match, a Flair retirement match. You know, it's usually on a pay-per-view with a big story behind it, and there's an emotional connection. Those are the kind of career matches you watch, you know, with fucking hawk eyes because you're invested. Nobody
Jay on the board says, Rob, just hit the pipe again.
Nah, it was before I started talking on this topic. So, fuck it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Soji, I'm going to let Brian possibly answer this one for you. Dustin is the John Cena of AEW. He doesn't have to be champion, but he helps new talent shine.
John Cena. I don't know about that. That's a little far.
What? John Cena?
I don't know about John Cena.
He did the job once. Bray recently?
Right. I would consider him more. I don't know. Not John Cena. That's a far cry from who Dustin. I mean, yeah, he's very respected from everyone, obviously, but
Hunter's a better example of put the guys over that's over there right now. I mean, Hunter has a 500 record at WrestleMania.
What about Mick Foley? Foley never really won.
But Foley didn't have the clout that Hunter had at times to put a guy over. Beating Foley didn't make a guy. Beating Hunter did.
What about beating the Ascension?
No, that was meant you were on Heat and you realized that was canceled before the Ascension were even signed.
What about Kiwi?
Rob, please help.
No, I'm not helping you. No.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
All
man.
right, so then Rob doesn't want to vote first. We'll let Brian vote first. Velveteen and Dexter Loomis Keith Lee combo against Undisputed, or Kip and Dustin. What do you like? What do you got?
Get out of my face even asking me that question. You're insane. Kip and Dustin.
All righty. Robert.
Velveteen Dream dropping the elbow on Adam Cole and getting the pin on him. Yeah, absolutely. That's the winner. Not some fucking fake ass career match. Ooh, I wonder if he's gonna lose.
Well, it wasn't just a fake ass career match. It was also the fact that it had there was no way we ever thought Dustin was gonna lose to begin with.
Yeah.
Then when he threw the career in there, it was like it went from a 98% chance to 100% chance.
Well,
we
also can't forget that Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle. So
you know what I thought was funny.
That was when Kurt was clearly going to go way over. He was a Hall of Famer and has neck issues. Dustin looks good and looks like he can still go. Brian, he doesn't have two hips. He's not on a podcast.
What was funny, Rob? Oh my God, he's still going. Shut up. Rob
he's still in. He just keeps fucking going and going.
Right?
Going. The Dustin thing, when Dustin's on the phone and he's hearing over speakerphone his fucking little spiel about I'll quit, I'll retire, whatever. Dustin's reactions has me fucking rolling on the floor. I mean, it's so, oh God, what's my brother doing?
Cody's.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Cody. Oh my God, what's my brother doing? It's so sad and serious. If I was his brother, I'd go, what? Dude, what? You're going to put your career on the line against Kip Sabian? Are you fucking kidding me? You fought Roddy Piper in a fucking in an alleyway, and you're gonna put your career on the line against Kip fucking Sabian in the opening round of the TNT Championship tournament? Are you fucking stupid? No.
You're a year into revitalizing your career that was squandered the last 7 to 10 years.
Yeah,
you're gonna retire to
no. So
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but NXT wins.
I'm going to have to go with Rob, too, to break the tie. I think NXT wins. Just a difference. Brian, what's the board saying?
XL10 is saying Dustin is the gold dust of AEW.
Shut
I
up.
thought that's a very astute assessment right there.
Right.
Let's see. Evan Wright agrees with us. He says goes with AEW, definitely. Votes AEW. Shoji saying has nothing to do with the titles. I mean, it ups the entertainment factor. And it looks like he is talking about, I don't know what he's talking about.
He's talking about the retirement thing.
Shoji, what are you talking about?
He's talking about the
Shoji?
retirement thing. It's stupid.
Oh,
It doesn't make it more entertaining. It makes it more stupid.
Yeah, I think they thought it was more entertaining, but it made it more stupid. Rob's 100% right. Insert whatever word you want there as long as it's negative.
You got to charge those AirPods, bro.
Yeah. Dude, I've been talking to you, unlike Brian who just ignores everybody.
Yeah, because I don't get a fucking response back.
Anyway, let's talk about some promos tonight.
Yeah.
I want to start with the actual curtain jerkers of the show, where we find that Velveteen Dream comes out, and we're expecting Finn Balor match with him or Finn Balor to answer here, whatever. But instead, Undisputed just comes and kicks his ass. Keith Lee makes the save. We talked about the main event, so we know where that finishes. What about Cody's promo on the AEW side, Brian? I'm going to give you a couple bullet points, but I want your reaction to this first. He felt like an executive and a competitor, kind of towing that line throughout this. There was a lot of Easter eggs in there.
Well, you said for Cody?
Yeah.
Easter eggs how? Tell me.
I mean, he was talking about how he was tearing down the throne. He mentioned future endeavors. Is this my, there was a lot of cadence to his speech. And there were times that he felt like he was the wrestler and whatever. If Brody Lee to me, well, Brody Lee is obvious is doing Vince. If Brody Lee is doing Vince, Cody's doing Hunter. What I felt like here. Yeah, this felt like when Hunter, the COO Hunter, is coming back for a match against someone in the way he cuts the promo. That's what this felt like to me.
No, I didn't think that at all. I mean, this was just I feel like a run-of-the-mill Cody promo. I didn't.
A run-of-the-mill?
Run-of-the-mill?
Yeah.
That.
Are you talking about the Cody one?
Go
but
on.
I mean,
I'm shocked that you're saying run-of-the-mill, but go on. Make your case.
Run-of-the-mill for Cody. I mean, Cody, all of his fucking promos are solid. So, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I see him going up. I thought this was the next step.
I think the main goal here was to pump up the tournament. And I think that goal is accomplished. Is it, to Brian's point, yeah, Cody's always, most of the time, 99% of the time, fire with promos, right?
Okay, that's fair.
But to say that this one was great, yeah, absolutely. Did it have some fun little nuggets in it? Absolutely. So I think you're both right. You're just fighting over who's more right, and I think you're right down the middle.
Okay, that is a very fair take. I don't have an argument back for you on that one.
Okay.
What did you think of it, Rob?
Just the same as, echoing both of you guys were saying. I mean, it was, I love the visuals of it. I love the cadence of it, the kind of, even the delivery that he gave us. It was solid. It told good stories. It created characters. It painted a picture. It did everything you wanted to do if you're going to sell me this tournament. It was cool. I mean, bottom line, as a fan, I loved it.
On the board, Soji says, seen this how many freaking times with the Undisputed? Yeah, that's why, I didn't really talk about that much. Yeah, cool, Keith Lee made the save, but we didn't even get the payoff of Keith Lee and Velveteen teaming together.
Yeah.
On the other side, Cody kind of, I thought he was taking digs in subtle ways at WWE or at Hunter, but at the same time, like Rob's point, he was building the tournament. He was plugging the whole thing. He was plugging the next round. There were two matches tonight for it. He did what he was supposed to.
I've never
question that AEW would win this, right?
Yeah. Dude,
What's your question, Rob?
It's more of an observation that you guys, man, talk about dating somebody, breaking up with her, thinking she was a 10 when you were with her, then getting with another chick, and then going, that chick was a 5, right? That's what you're doing right here. Like, you guys were absolutely in love with NXT prior to AEW starting prior to AEW in general. Fucking NXT was the fucking bee's knees. Oh, it's so much better than that WWE chick. But I'm just saying, and
WWE has not. NXT has not done anything new lately.
No, don't take my point though. You're gonna.
I know what you're saying.
No, you're gonna misconstrue my.
I knew where you were going.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you guys shit all over NXT now. Just absolutely no love at all for it, even though that you once very much loved it. I get AEW's a new chick. She's fun. She's sexy. I get that. But you can still be fond and friendly to the NXT.
No, listen. NXT 2.5 years ago had a huge swerve with Undisputed when Roddy joined and screwed over Pete Dunne at the end of the Dusty tournament or whatever the hell it was, because tournaments aren't right now. I think it was 2.5 years ago. Okay. And Undisputed ever since then has just been kicking people's ass.
Yeah.
They won all the gold. They lost all the gold. They've won it all back.
Yep.
They've lost almost all of it back. Nothing has changed with them, though, in a long time.
So?
Okay, so that's why we're saying we want something fresh. Oh, by the way, what else
do
we have?
Really?
Oh, Ciampa and Gargano finally are finishing feud there.
Dude.
I would have liked to see Killer Cross tonight. I would have liked to see some.
No, we get your point. Let me continue the conversation with you, back and forth.
You're saying that
No, you don't know what I'm going to say.
We're upset that
let me challenge your point. Let me challenge your point you just made.
Let me finish.
No, you just made
This is where you're talking.
There's a specific point I want to
challenge. You want me to stay on your point? I'm going to get to it and finish right here. Throw your pen. Get all pissy. Let me finish my point so I can go back to you to have the conversation you want. I was going to say they felt a little stale, and that's why we haven't turned on them because AEW came around. We've turned on them because they're stale. Now go ahead.
My point is now past the point where it would have made sense, and I fucking forgot anyway, so whatever.
Conversation. Brian, anything to add to that? Do you think any points of Rob's or mine were in agreement with your thinking?
No, I
none of them.
No. I mean, it's not that I don't hate NXT. That's not the thing that I hate. I don't like the way that WWE conducts themselves, and compared to how AEW does things, I'm much more in tune with that. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
All right, so we had a Sammy promo and a Darby promo before their match. We talked briefly already about the Goodbye Drake promo. Riddle, Thatcher, they had a promo, great. And Broken Matt. Rob, I'll let you start here. Broken Matt, he's transformed himself again to take on Jericho. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was cool.
All right. Rob's in pout mode. Brian, what do you think about Matt transforming from Broken into regular Matt?
To be honest, I'm not that high on it. I like the whole Broken gimmick. I like him just doing that and just doing that full speed ahead. I guess it is kind of weird that he's going back and forth in between just normal Matt Hardy and Broken Matt Hardy. We'll see. Maybe it'll grow on me. But
maybe it could be a thing. I mean, it's emulating maybe the Fiend
right.
and Bray.
Yeah, I wonder if they would have done this if he wouldn't have had to film everything kind of remotely and do things that way. I feel like maybe that changed the creative direction of who or where he was going. So,
do you think Broken helps regular Matt to win, to beat Jericho? Somehow there's two Matts?
You know what? That's a good idea. I wouldn't put that by them.
Time and space.
Right.
Rob, you look like you had something to add. Are you back?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm good.
On the board. Oh my God, 3 hours just too long. That's Raw. And SmackDown goes by kind of fast. It's easy to watch. That's Iron Meds talking about the other shows. It's not that. I think NXT has overused Undisputed, and COVID and empty arena has taken the crowd reaction out of NXT. so I'm not as invested anymore. That's Soji, countering, I guess, both of us. And XL10J says, I agree, it's past the point, and I too forgot what I was going to say. He's just agreeing with you, Rob.
No, he doesn't know he's agreeing with Adam because I'm not allowed to get anything out ever. What I was going to say, which you had no idea what I was going to say, which was relevant at a certain point in the conversation, and if you'd ever breathed, you'd have heard it. The argument you guys are making about Undisputed being stale and going, they're going too long without a change. Hello, the fucking Four Horsemen went for fucking decades. And it was always the same fucking thing. You guys are fucking finicky, man. Fucking straight finicky.
Dude, check the tape seriously this time. You talked forever. Okay. I chimed in my argument. You wanted to talk back over me. The tape. The next one are the other one that's fun on the NXT side. Rob, I know you'll probably come out and talk about this one. But Brian, before we get to that on the AEW side, Taz's techniques. Off air, you told me and Rob about it. I think this is pretty fucking cool. I mean, you're gonna run through the roster pretty quick because you don't have 52 superstars, but you do have 52 weeks. But I like this segment a lot. It's something different. It adds to the kayfabe of the ferocity, if you will, of each move. I just wanted to say you're right here. I don't really have a question or point.
Okay, well, you're welcome. I'm glad that you enjoy it because I enjoy it also.
All right, Rob, fire promo for you of the night. Johnny and Candace.
So I got to set the stage because neither one of y'all watched this. So they're both sitting in the kitchen.
Not with the volume.
So they're both sitting at the dining room table, right? He's sitting there to begin with. He got the candle lit. They're about to obviously have a dinner in their apartment, right? And he's talking about, just how he's always working hard and, other people are getting by. And I'm not doing justice on the story. What was really cool about this was it almost went kind of how, when the Fiend shows up during Funhouse, how it kind of just, the whole screen changes and it's like, no, and it comes back to reality. That's what it was tonight. It was like a Donnie Darko movie where he would get angry and the visual would change and we're like all shaky and screen in a different tint. And it was very creepy, very Tales of the Dark Side kind of look. And then he'd come out of it and then Candace would put the dinner on the table. She'd sit down and she's got her hair fucking changed and her looks completely different. And she starts saying the same things he was. I was always saying yes to everybody. I'll sign your fucking autographs. I'll do all this. I'll do all that. And then she starts to change into the Donnie Darko fucking shit. So they kept going back and forth, and they finally decided, hey, you know what? We should work as a team, and we should both go to the top of both of our divisions and do this together. It was a great story the way they presented it. It was kind of a good repackage for both of them. And the visualizations of the segment itself was fucking fantastic. So it's really, I don't know who's doing their packages and promos and videos and remote matches now, but if he's doing them all, then fucking bravo.
I would say Borash is probably doing a lot of it. So
if Borash did this, I mean, it's great.
Yeah, Borash has done a bunch of that. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Have any doubt anymore? Candice LeRae, heel or face?
I don't know. I didn't watch. But
he just painted the picture.
Judging by what you guys said, she's heel.
They're both very heel. Very, very
Johnny
heel.
has been very heel. This, if there was any doubt, you were the only one that had doubt from the last stuff where she helped Johnny win. You said, oh, that's just her helping her husband. Check the tape. You said that. It doesn't necessarily mean that she went heel. Well, tonight, she fucking solidified it. That's all I'm saying.
You think Johnny was already a big heel? Really?
I think in the Ciampa feud, yeah, Ciampa was about to win Big Goldie back, and here came Johnny to cost him it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was. But Johnny was on the fence. That's where it.
But he was a teeter-totter, man. He was a heel for that, and then he wasn't afterwards, and he was. He wasn't.
You're right.
Yeah, he wasn't a huge heel. I even think in the aspect of the Ciampa feud that it was such an obsession. The story was it's such an obsession between those two that you really couldn't place either one as a heel or a face against each other. It was more of a blood feud.
Oh, and that's how they kept going with it. They would switch and switch, but I like that Candice, really stayed out of it for the most part.
Yeah.
But she got in there at the end. Really like that promo. Scorpio Sky has a promo. We had that Dustin phone call. Io Shirai has a promo about Charlotte. Chelsea Green is poolside. That was giggity. I didn't have the volume on, so I have no idea what she said, but it was probably better that way. Rob, anything important out of the Chelsea Green, Robert Stone?
Bikini.
Exactly. Thank you. So let's just, we got the meat and the potatoes left, boys. Before we get to awards, we got MJF and so two of the bubbly bunch. Let's start with MJF. Brian, you're closer to millennial here. Help me out with this. What is a rat's house?
A rat's house? Well, a ring rat. He's referring to a ring rat. So
okay.
a girl
I just
that
saw
likes
Max's rat's house. I didn't, because he's clearly at a rec center when they panned out at the end. By the way, he's not at anyone's house.
Yeah,
there are
like a
parking
country club
spots.
Yeah.
There's a cone there. There's like a school or an optometrist next door. I mean, we're clearly not at someone's house.
Yeah, no, that wasn't his house. But he's been doing he posted cryptically and just kind of randomly last week about how he's got an injury and how he might, it was kind of out of character for him and how he might need surgery, and everyone was kind of wondering what the fuck
throwing dice. He said, yeah.
Right, yeah, and it was when he was gambling on the matches whenever it was.
You didn't think that was? He said he heard it throwing dice. I thought it was a little entendre-ish.
Entendre-ish? How?
Make the gesture how you would roll dice.
No, he why would he have to do that? He can fucking pay and he can go have women. He can go do whatever the fuck he wants.
Because it's a funny joke. It's not real, you schmuck.
No, I don't like it. That's not funny. I did like his promo,
You're not
though.
funny.
Yeah, well, you're not. How'd you like it, Adam?
Sure, it's funny. Rob was buying into it. It's funny on his screen. Rob, MJF's promo, the swerve of the whole thing, needing surgery, and the reason why is this. Are you okay with it?
Am I okay with him being out to have surgery?
No, the kayfabe of the whole surgery.
Oh yeah, no, I got no real comments on this one. It was fine. It was good. I was in NXT at this point, so I was only kind of scanning back and forth. So I'm not gonna give anything credible to this argument. It was fine in my opinion.
Oh shit, I forgot. We also got Brody Lee. I wrote it off to the side. So we got Brody Lee and Bubbly Bunch. Ford, I know you mentioned a lot about the MJF.
Hey, can I jump in?
I just didn't see anything great about it comparatively to the others. Go ahead, Rob.
I just want to jump in real quick and hit something up on the board. Those people. Soji says, incomparable, Rob. I disagree. The Horsemen had charisma, and they made an impact on different storylines. Undisputed are booked like a gang of punks that only get involved during the title push. First off, don't...
It's a good counterpoint, though.
No, it's not. Don't get my what I said confused. I did not compare Undisputed to the Horsemen. That's not fair. That's not a fair comparison. Horsemen are untouchable, right? I didn't even compare them, the Horsemen and Undisputed, in their overall story gimmick or who they are. I'm talking about a faction having the same style approach for a long period of time and being successful in both cases. Both factions have been successful doing the same approach and gimmick for a long period of time. They're not comparable.
Well, would you agree with Soji's point that their approach and gimmick is gang style going after gold?
No, I don't agree with the gang of punks that only get involved during a title push. I don't. They're trying to be. It's a supremacy thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Brian, Sklenner says MJF is pulling the old Orton angle when he was like, just to stay on TV, and he would come back and go, "Hey, I'm in a sling, but I'm 23%. I'll keep you updated every week on my progress. Do you think that this is just to stay relevant?
Stay relevant, have him on TV. I mean, obviously he can't be there for tapings right now, so yeah, I have no problem
yeah.
So
with
he
it.
can hang out at the country club or
Right.
the rec center.
There you go. Yeah.
I personally, whatever he had done was possibly elective surgery, and he's like, look, we're on the fucking shelf. I've been putting this off for a while. Now's a good time. I think, Rob, you said that when we were talking on Skype during this. You're like, hell, if this is the best time to have surgery right now.
Yeah, right.
No TV, no
I don't-
crowd.
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually having surgery.
Well, whatever. I mean, he's injured and wrapped in a cast there. He clearly was in a brace and cast. I think he's already had the surgery. Whatever it was, I think he's already had the surgery. I think he was probably nursing it. But he definitely, that was not a cast that you put on as kayfabe, I don't believe. I mean, it didn't look that way. No fucking medical doctor.
I don't know.
but it didn't look that way.
Bob Orton had a cast on for like 20 years.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so MJF got a new gimmick. Let's talk about Brody Lee real quick for a second. He's recruiting somebody backstage. He gave us some Easter eggs. He said 6'2". He was talking about, are you a former pro football player or college football player? There was some stuff in there. Do you think that this is just another generic video of him being Vince?
Yeah.
Or do you think that this is somebody that just got released, that he was actually talking to, that there is somebody whose resume he was reciting that is coming over?
I don't think it has to be that at all. I mean, it can be.
I'm just asking.
Oh, and I'm answering. It can be a debut of somebody we've never seen before on any program, and he's just playing the Vince role to bring him in. Because, I mean, clearly that's who he is. I mean, it could also be somebody from the roster that got released. It absolutely could be. And they're playing the Vince role. So it could be both.
Brian, is it a creeper or a character?
Are you talking about the guy that was in the room with him?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's Preston Vance. He's like an indie guy. He's not from WWE.
No,
he was the guy,
but
Oh,
I'm
Brian
saying,
knows
are they
everything.
sowing the seeds for a real guy?
I mean, probably at some point, yeah, I could see one of those WWE cast out or one of the guys that got released maybe making their way to Dark Order, but I wouldn't say that that's who he was referring to for sure.
Okay.
Do you
so
think?
I was just looking too deep into this. This is just another stab at Vince.
Do you think that they would hook Brody Lee up with Rowan? You think
Oh,
they would do
God.
that?
I hope not.
Yeah, that would be so stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope not.
Okay.
Iron Meds. 4 horsemen look like men who live at bars and party with hot females. Undisputed look like they go to the hotel to play video games on Twitch.
Yes, I saw that.
They do because Adam Cole plays on Twitch a lot.
Yeah, I saw that comment, and the first thing I thought was, yes, he's right. But I think that's a reflection of the men of those days. The men of those days went to bars, drank beer, and went home with chicks. The men of these days drink fucking White Claw and play games on Twitch. It's a representation.
Well, not just that. They have the technological differences.
Well, I mean,
they
obviously.
can do that.
Right. I'm just talking about the more a reflection of the era that we're in. I mean, I'm a bar. I'm gonna get some beer at a bar, fucking kind of guy. Go there and look for chicks. That's me. I'm not a video game Twitch guy, so I don't know.
All right, final one. Rob will let you kick this off, and then we'll go to Brian.
Yeah.
Me, awards, and close this bitch down. The Bubbly Bunch version 2.0. What'd you think tonight, Rob?
No, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I don't know how to. Sammy Guevara is funny, and I don't give him enough credit for that, but he's funny. And maybe it's just funny because he can't act, and this is a perfect venue for him to be a bad actor because it's funny.
Or a segment, yeah.
Yeah. So they're not taking themselves too seriously. They're finding ways to fill time on the show. This has no relevance. All it does is make me smile, so I'm good. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Sammy, but I think all of them are terrible actors. Hager, even Jericho's hamming it up
Oh yeah.
a little bit. I think that's why Jericho, to me, not so great on commentary because he's playing a part instead of just commentary.
Yeah.
Brian, I want to segue to you, but I want to talk about the end. Felt very Tim and Eric.
Yeah, a little bit. I was getting those vibes, but I'm just going to echo what Rob said about the whole thing about them not taking themselves seriously and the whole fucking with the hand sanitizer and all that. But one of the things too that you guys were saying about Sammy not getting enough credit, again, this is kind of another thing. He's got a very popular vlog on YouTube. It's almost like his version of BTE.
What's a vlog?
What's a vlog?
I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, I was like, my god.
This is very.
We were talking about tech and Four Horsemen a second ago.
This is very glow wrestling.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it's like, the match, and then you go to a completely different segment, like a sketch comedy show.
Ha ha ha!
Don't.
No, the way Glow would do their little raps backstage.
Well, that's not really.
Not taking themselves seriously.
Well, yeah, I was speaking more like when they would flip to a scene from a fucking farm, and they would have a scene with the farmer's daughter on a farm that's completely irrelevant to anything.
Oh, I forgot those.
Yeah, so go ahead. You're good.
Those were fucked up.
Yeah.
I forgot all about those. Bubbly Bunch for me was some fun. I really liked the fact that Sammy took it over in the end. But that's my only comment. On the board before we go to awards, either one of you got it?
Yeah, Jason Sklenar is saying, let's see, he says MJF is the best heel in the business, so having him on TV equals money.
Yeah,
you're the best.
And they were questioning, this is something that they were questioning who the person was, who the creeper was that was in the room with Brody Lee. Preston Vance again. He is AKA, he's number 10.
You already answered that, Brian.
No, I know. I just wanted to echo it. You were asking me what was going on the board, and I was just saying. I just wanted to shout that out.
No, I was telling you to tell the board to pay attention. They pulled a Brian.
And they pulled an Adam. And Shoji was saying, you guys like Santana and Ortiz? Buzzkill. Fine,
no, I mean, I like them when they're not taking themselves too seriously. When they were just beating the shit out of the Rock and Roll Express.
Right.
That got a little stale. Hey, we're going to do the same move in the same spot on the top of the ramp every time. I mean, that's a spot, not a gimmick. Stop doing it like it's a gimmick. Award time. I don't know where Rob went, but we only got two. Brian, we got Marked Out. We got the Petty Town. It's the last stop. Board, get yours ready. We're closing it down. Let's go. Brian, you want to start or do you want me to with Marked Out?
Marked Out, you can go first.
All righty. On the NXT side, I did mark out at the thought of Velveteen and Keith Lee. When Keith came out and made the save and they announced that it was going to be them, I marked out. It faded when, Dexter Loomis took Keith Lee's place. That faded for me, but at the time in the beginning, I marked out for it. On the other side, Bubbly Bunch. I marked out at one spot. I felt like there was a little foreshadowing here that the Roomba might have a match against Vanguard 1.
Oh my God.
Jericho's Roomba.
Yes.
That's where the future is headed. Is something with the whole Matt Hardy feud and I feel maybe even Jericho's personas will change too. Like Jericho will go back to the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla for a second. Like he'll go through his own little motions. He'll put his hair in that stupid fucking braid. He'll have his moments too. And maybe that's their answer for Firefly Funhouse, who did all the generations of Bray and Cena. They're going to do all the iterations of themselves, but also have a match between a Roomba and a drone. And then, so those are my two. Rob, we're on Marked Out Awards. Brian, go with yours.
Marked Out for me on the AEW side had to have been Dustin. Dustin winning that match and actually specifically him hitting the Destroyer. I know Destroyers are now becoming kind of just commonplace, but still, seeing him do one is still fucking...
So disappointing.
I marked out for that.
I feel like we should plug the All Elite Hour right there, but...
Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that your Marked Out moment, Brian.
Marked Out moment. You really thought Dustin's career was over and you marked out because he saved it here?
No, you're not fucking listening. I said his Destroyer, him hitting the Destroyer.
He's done that weeks and weeks and weeks.
Been doing that
the
for
first time.
Been doing that for like a year. Like every week
Everybody
for like a year.
does the Destroyer now.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me see you fucking do is destroy your fat fuck. You can't do it.
Okay, I'll grab a teddy bear. I can do a Destroyer to a teddy bear. Not a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's always funny when you call me fat fuck when you're the bigger one and the fatter one and the heavier one.
You look like
I'm gonna let you guys finish.
it.
You guys
You
done?
are so immobile. I can.
I'm gonna keep muting them out so they can finish their conversation. We'll get back to the wrestling conversation in a second. You guys ready? Are you ready now? Okay.
Well, you're
Brian,
a host that pissed off. You pissed off both of
quarantine
your
has
co-hosts.
not been good for you.
Nice job pissing off both of your co-hosts in one show.
Right.
Very good job.
You turned into an angry monster.
No, dude, you're digressing, Adam. You don't understand it. You're regressing. Sorry, yeah.
We're at the hour 45 mark. Keep going.
I got tape to
Are
back
we really? We're doing
everything
this long? Come on.
Rob, what's your marked outs?
Marked out for AEW. When Wardlow threw that fucking dude, man, that made me mark out. Marked out for NXT was the Johnny and Candice promo. I was locked in on that. Yeah.
Bettytown. Brian, you want to kick us off? All right, sweet. I knew you were going there. That's why I went to you first, because I didn't want that to be the end. I wanted you to get your little moment there. You got some shine. You gave Rob a laugh. Rob, Bettytown.
Pettytown on NXT. I'm gonna go with. Really can't think of one. That thing on the back shoulder of Havoc, Jimmy Havoc, whatever that is. Get rid of that. Remove that immediately. Bust it, cut it off, whatever. My Pettytown for NXT is having Keith Lee involved at all with the Cole and Velveteen thing. Just seems wrong.
All right, so I'm just reading the boards here. Marked out, Stike Leather. NXT, it's Candice and Johnny. AEW, it's Darby and Sammy. Soji says, what else? Close-up of hand sanitizer with the Walgreens logo.
Yeah,
yes, that was a great part of the bubbly bunch.
Yeah.
And Jay is predicting the Roomba will wipe the floor with the drone. Jay, don't hurt yourself when you're betting on that. Sammy and Darby for Sklenner. Darby's pinning finisher. I really liked it because it looked like a submission / pin.
It did.
Sklenner says, I love Rob as straight multitasking motherfuckers. Oh, straight muting motherfuckers.
What the muting motherfuckers? Wow.
Sorry, I can't read.
Wow.
I don't know what that said.
Wow.
I'm reading on a smaller screen.
You said multitasking.
Yeah. I just added a whole fucking word. Bettytown from Charlotte's outfit. Ugh, that's from Iron Meds. And Jay says, it's weird how you guys do a wrestling podcast, try to analyze things real hard, but then seem to be proud that you don't watch SmackDown. It's only half of the main roster's talent and story. Actually, because it's a Friday night, we have better things to do. Yeah. We can read the results.
Yeah.
Rob, I think, enjoyed the Dozer and Mandy Rose segment.
I did.
But I don't think he would have enjoyed it enough to give up his Friday nights.
Now, if I hear about something and it sounds pretty cool, I'll go back and watch it. But that's pretty rare that I hear about something. Normally, yeah, Friday nights. That's I'm not an old man or a young kid in the house. I'm fucking still in my fun ages. I want to go out and have fun on Friday nights. Sorry.
And also, you put Roman as the star. Have you listened to our show?
Yeah, that kills me. That's a big no-no.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's finish, please.
Jay is saying I didn't get the joke. Roombas wipe the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. My petty, and we'll close it down.
Yeah.
Jericho talking early about OC's comeback when his hands went in there. So that's like Popeye with his spinach. But he was way early on that. I don't know if he had a script and had to say that. And then my Pettytown for NXT was that Finn Balor Velveteen Dream match from tonight. That didn't happen. Anyway, my final thought, AEW wins in the end. So to answer the question for who won Wednesday, for me it's AEW. Brian.
AEW.
Rob.
I think it's a draw.
Ooh.
No, it's AEW.
Make your case. No case.
I mean, it's NXT was better this week, but no, AEW still wins.
NXT was better than it has been. You want to go on your subtlety rant and stuff. I believe there's some stuff there, but the lack of Velveteen fan, whatever the reason, you might be, I don't know who said it, 100% right. There could have been something COVID related or travel related or something we don't know beyond kayfabe, but the little cruiserweight interim tournament doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
At the end of the day,
I'm with you.
That's why
I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna be done.
All right.
I'm sorry.
The
Look,
angry elf.
no.
The bionic monster.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Fuck. Now you just talk so fucking. It's like a fucking steamroller of words. You can't even get in. It's good. Go ahead. Finish up. Done. Love you guys.
Brian, final thought.
Watch wrestling. Wash your hands.
All right. Thanks, guys. Tune in next time. We'll be back Monday.